Sunny Bonani, Dumelang. How are you guys? So, your girl is back again. For those of you who are new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Precious, and for the rest of y'all, my people, welcome back. I'm here again with another video, but then this time I actually decided to do, exams are around the corner, so I'm like, okay, let me hook my sisters up, let me hook my brothers up, yo. So what I decided to do, I'm gonna do two parts. I'm gonna link it after doing the second part as well. So I'm gonna do the first part. I'm gonna do how to study for the exam, how I study for the exam, and then the second part I'm actually gonna do how I attempt the questions in the exam. Yeah, how to attempt different questions. So I wrote them down because y'all know my memory is like, I suck at this. So I need to write them down so that I don't forget. So I didn't actually write them in any particular order. So don't think because I said something first it means it's most important or anything like that. I just wrote them as I could remember them. The first one I actually wrote down as pick up keywords. You know, when we're studying, like, you don't know what is important, like especially with definitions, it's important to actually pick up keywords, because when you're writing you literally won't remember a lot of things. So if you help yourself with picking up the important words, you can actually piece the sentence together, just that it has to have those particular words. So the next one of which I wrote is, when we're doing calculations, get to know the theory behind the calculation, like the principle behind it, because you won't necessarily know how to calculate something unless you know why we're doing it that way. So if we're calculating risk, you have to know the theory behind risk and everything like that, because it helps you understand things better. It helps you understand the calculation better. If you know why we are debiting this, why we are crediting that, then it helps you work better. So you guys, you have to excuse me, I'm used to the accounting terms, and because I do accounting, so it's much easier for me to relate things to that than any of your subjects, because accounting is all I know. So if you're doing calculations or in maths or anything like that, you just have to know the theory behind what you're doing, because if you don't know the principles behind it, it's difficult to actually understand the work. So another thing I wrote down is, especially when you're working through a pile of information, like especially in business law, they like giving big definitions and what's so not. So it's important, even though you don't have a highlighter, but a pencil, you can use a pencil or a different pen, like to highlight what you think is most important, like the important things, like I said, keywords, so that when you go back to revise it, you actually know what to focus more on. So highlight your work. What I do is I write my definitions aside. So that works for me because I know which definitions to actually focus on. So what I do from the topic that I will be doing for that particular moment, I actually write, I take, like, if I'm gonna define this and this and that, I take them and then I write them aside, so that I know, okay, this is my page for definitions, this is my page where I'm gonna focus on this and that and that. So write your definitions separately, like, yeah, take notes and everything, but then write your definitions where you're gonna refer to them later, instead of having them pile up with all the other things. Okay, another thing is, like, if you come across words you don't understand, it is wise to actually Google them, like search what the word means, because it's not fruitful if you're gonna do something that you don't understand. Like, if you're gonna read a topic that you don't understand, that has a lot of words you don't understand. So if you find a word you don't understand, Google it, search it. So this relates to the other one that I wrote down, is if you find that difficult word, it is my advice that you actually You can actually use that word in the exam, yeah, but then for your own sake, just write the simpler synonym of it. I get it, you would have searched it, yeah, you found synonyms as well. Like, replace it with a synonym, because even if it helps with paraphrasing as well, like that, finding synonyms, it helps with paraphrasing. So I don't think they can penalize you if you use a synonym, but I don't know about you, how you guys do it. But I don't think they can penalize you for using a synonym. What I mostly do, because it's difficult to remember a word of which you don't understand, like a word you can't pronounce. It's hard remembering them. So what I do is that I use synonyms most of the time. I find the synonym of that word and then I refer to it like that. So it makes it simpler for me. But then if it doesn't work for you, you can try using that word. If we're working with difficult words works for you, I assume you good. Another thing I wrote down is like work from smaller topics. I know people tend to actually do like topics like topic 1, unit 1, unit 2, unit 3. I know they put them like that for the mere fact that maybe they interrelate to each other. But what I do mostly is that I start from the smallest topic, like that topic that has the least slides. I start with it, because you need to your mind needs to build up. You can't start with a big topic. You're gonna get bored along the way, because I do that most of the time. So what I do is that I start with the smaller topics, so that I build up, and then I start to focus. Oh, okay, now I get this. This is that. Because I would have started with smaller portions. Yeah. So it relates to a lot of things in life. You start small, then you go big, and you build up. So when you want to study, but then you're thinking, yo, that topic is a lot. Yeah, just start with smaller topics. And then yeah, this one, it helps with big topics, like what I wrote down here. Like, you might have the topic. It's what can I relate it to? Okay, guys, I don't know what to relate it to, but then maybe the topic is politicians, blah blah blah, and then under the topic you have definition of a politician. Then you have it there. You write it separately. Then you're gonna have key things to have as a politician. Like, you separate things so that it's easier for you to refer back, but also to understand, because you can't work with big information. Another thing I wrote down, guys, take breaks. Like, yeah, we understand you're writing tomorrow, but then it's tlhaloganyo ya gago can't take that much information. So it's important to take breaks. Like, usually what I do is that after 2 hours of studying, for some people actually study for less time, but then for me, after 2 hours of studying a topic or something like that, I take a break. Do whatever it is that you wanna do that's gonna distract you from the whole topic, because wow, my man can't handle that. So what I do is that I take a break. I do whatever I wanna do. I'm on WhatsApp, I'm on Instagram, I do some things, or I go for a jog, or not that I do that all the time, but then I do that if I'm stressed. So just go grab a snack, go talk to your siblings, take a break, because you're not gonna remember. I bet you that you're not gonna remember if you can go 7 hours straight. If that's your maximum, then go 7 hours straight, then take a break, because your mind can't remember if you've been doing, like, I know there are those people who go to the library, they cross night. Does cross nighting work for you guys? Because for me, kunzima, guys, it doesn't. If you're out there, if you're watching and you have a YouTube channel, help me with that one. Okay, so for me, cross nighting doesn't work. But then even if you are cross nighting, take a break. Those people who will intimidate you in the library, they be studying and studying, and then when your brain is tired, like, you're tired, and people are still studying, and then you're like, but then I have to study. Somebody hasn't left yet. this person, I found them here, but then they're still here. Yeah, whatever. But guys, moral of the story, take a break, because your brain ha yo hopola anything elong hore, like you've been overloading it and what's or not. Study ahead. Like guys, it's no use overloading your mind the last day. Like, you know, those people who study the last day, guys, it never works out. You will have a mind block. Like if you overload your brain, like you try studying a lot of topics in one day, it's gonna literally give you a mind block. You'll find yourself in the test not remembering the simplest topic, like, you know, the simplest definition. When they ask you what is energy, and you're like, what is that? You don't know, because you actually overloaded your mind. I have friends who are like that. Like people, they're like, yo, Chomi, I couldn't remember this, I couldn't remember that. It's because most people, they cram. This method called cram, pass and forget. I can't do that. I am unable to. I can't. Which is a gift for me, because I would have done it as well. So there are those people who be like, that day we are writing, and then somebody's like, I'm at the library, Chomi, I'm trying to study. What have you been doing all this time? What have you been doing? Like, I'm not saying that you should always study every day. No, like, if you have that break, and then you know you're struggling with this topic, try making notes. Make notes. It's easier for information to go into your mind if you like literally take a moment to actually write down notes. It helps. Writing down notes helps. It helps me. Hopefully it helps you as well. So write them down, or you can actually do this thing. There are other people in high school, there were these people who used to record themselves, I don't know, reading through the topic, and then it helps them understand it, because we are different people. We learn differently. There are those who learn through seeing things. If it works for you, draw things that actually relate to that. Listen to things that actually relate to that. Google it, watch it on YouTube, do that, so that it helps you understand the topic better. Because there are those people, especially with this online thing, because the lectures are not there, it's not easy for them to understand. So try and find ways for you to actually understand things better, what works for you, and then actually put it there, guys, because doing things the last day doesn't work. Like, you will literally have a mind block. So study ahead. Which brings me to my last part, guys. I'm so sad. Go through your work with others. Going through your work with others doesn't necessarily mean that you have to work in a group. No, because I also can't work in groups. So what I usually do is that I go through the topic on my own first, and then I have my friends of which I help. Mostly this works for me. I didn't know it worked, but then it works for me. Like, my friends would come to me, please explain this to me. Then when I explain it to them, I feel like I'm gonna remember better if I explain it to my friend. Okay, this is how this and this and this works. It is like this because of this. Then it helps me when I'm in the exam. I'm actually gonna recall that because I had gone through it. I had explained it to someone. If you're good in something, if you're gonna help somebody else, if it's from the bottom of your heart, it's gonna help. Like, it's gonna help you to. It doesn't necessarily mean if you're good at something you shouldn't help others. Help them. So if you feel like you need help from someone, like going through the work with others, it can actually be you wanting help from someone else. Hearing someone else's perspective of things helps as well. So I have friends as well whom I go to, and I'm like, but then this topic is like this. What does this mean? It goes, or I actually studied this thing. I think it means that. Getting someone else's perspectives helps. So guys, I hope this helped, and then please stay tuned for my next one, because I'm gonna help you guys with attempting questions in the exams as well. So please, you will be missed. I'm gonna do another one though. Thank you for actually watching. Thank you.